Next up, we have State of Mind by Teminite, featured in Geometry Dash and Beat Saber is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever any news, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream, members getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. I just had my entire setup. Also, two things. Number one, in celebration of 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Two things in celebration of 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which, again, thank you, everybody. We're giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. And now, starting every 5,000 subscribers that we get, I'm going to start checking out some of the games, like playing some of the games that we cover. First two are going to be Just Shapes and Beats and Limbus Company. More information on the whole spiel at the end of the video, so stick around for that. With that in mind, let's go ahead and do this. State of Mind. Let's go. Oh yeah, this is a live performance video, so there might be deviations from the official original one, but in this case we would get to see Teminite. It wouldn't be the first time that we covered Teminite in a live performance, so yeah, let's see what we got. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we now start with a drum giving us that hi-hat, the kind of thing, giving us an initial beat. We have our initial accompaniment playing some chords. Accompaniment, of course, being whatever does not have the lead, right, or the spotlight, the accompaniment. So yeah, we are having this one, and yeah, this is fairly common with current day pieces, or many pieces in general, that your initial melody is not introduced and you first introduce the chords. Let's just hear a bit more. Considering that he hasn't walked up to the keyboard just yet, we're probably going to hear a couple of repetitions of these chords to establish a nice bass line. And there, let's see where this goes. And no, valid, no. Let's see where this goes. What we are having is Dunkel and Primal joined us on stream on the 28th. We're going to be doing some more tier lists. So, yeah. Let's see where this goes. So, yeah, there you go. And there you have it. There is our initial melody. We start with what are called some grace notes, and then we start with our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. Grace notes are the notes before the notes. You know, so these are pre-notes, you could call it. So for example, if we were to take something in this case, we had that little run. By the way, usually these are going to be runs or just quick notes. Before, a run in music is just a series of notes played relatively quickly, right? So if I were to bring, for example, let's see, which one is this one? So, if I were to take this motif over here, okay, so let me try this again. This would be the actual motif, but in the case, this is from Mozart's Piano Sonata in B-flat major. If we were to then switch it and have the grace notes, this starts with this over here. So we have these four notes before the start of the actual motif. And then we start doing variations. So the grace notes can be as long as an entire run, or you can do them kind of as, like right before the notes hit. That's kind of the point of the grace notes. And let's see where Teminite takes us. Okay, so now we are engaging in a couple of things. One, we're starting to develop the motif. I believe now we are doing an inversion. I think this is an inversion of the motif. An inversion is when you play something upside down, at least when it comes to the melody, right? Because you can do inversion in chords, but that's a different thing. So, inversion in melody, if I were to do this right here, right? If I were to do this inverted, then I'm gonna just put a mirror on top of it, play it upside down. That kind of thing. So it seems in this case we're doing some sort of inversion, and as you can see, he's got his finger up here in what would be a slide, which you can hear the notes bending with that. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, so you can hear it. You can hear there how the notes are bending up and down. That is not something that is possible just by pressing the keys alone, because unlike something like a guitar or a violin, you can't move that freely when it comes to a keyboard. In a keyboard, you have the the full distance between them. There is, however, a was it called a seaboard? No, in a seaboard keyboard. Was it a seaboard? It's a new type, relatively new type of keyboard. Yes, a seaboard. And as you can see, it has the same structure as a regular keyboard. However, these ones have smoother keys so that you can slide, physically slide between the notes. These ones are relatively new, so they're not as widely adapted, and it adds that extra step that does not require you to do pitch bending and whatnot. You should do that song. I mean, I should do many songs, but we have a process for this, so yeah, don't worry about it. Maybe in the future if the wheel wills it. So yeah, let's see where this goes. The development, variation of the motif. I can feel the evolution. Okay, so we switch things around. We bring now a vocal sample. And this does not make this a song so far. We're having this vocal sample still playing the same motif. It could turn this into a song. It could not. A song, speaking of, a song, an actual song, is going to have vocals, is going to have lyrics, and these vocals and lyrics are going to be the driving force of a substantial part of the piece. So far, the keyboard has had that driving force. So in this case, we would be just talking about an audio sample or a vocal sample. Let's just see where this goes. Because now, Teminite himself seems to have gone into the accompaniment. Let's see where this goes. He's just playing the chords. So playing some very fancy chords. I don't know who I will become, but I know what I want more than ever before. So this is 100% functioning like a regular verse in a regular song. 100% working the same way. You have the vocalist singing through lyrics. The melodies are not that climactic. They're not that unleashed. They're kind of held back a little bit. However, considering that this is Teminite and most of his stuff is instrumental, we could still chuck this on the this is not a song, this is still an instrumental, but we will see. Okay, so yeah, the more we're hearing this, the more this is turning into an actual song. So, with the song now, we are following the form of a song. Form is going to be the structure of the music that you're doing, right? And in the structure, we are dealing in sections. Each different section is going to contain a separate, its own unique type of structure with certain patterns to it. So, we started with an intro. Then, in the intro, we had a verse, verse number 1, but it was instrumental, with Teminite playing through the motifs and developing the motifs. Then, we had verse number 2, which had the vocals in it, and now we are having either a pre-chorus or a chorus. I'm still going to hear a little bit more. the difference between a pre-chorus and a chorus. A chorus is going to be the climactic high point of the music, whereas the pre-chorus is going to be the connective tissue between a verse and a chorus. The verse is usually going to be intensity-wise your floor level of intensity, and then your chorus is going to be your ceiling level of intensity. Pre-chorus is basically going to be the wall in between the two, something like that. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, I think this might be the pre-chorus. We're building up. It's not unleashing, we're building up, and... So now we are bringing in a combination of both song and instrumental, because instead of the chorus, so we bring in structurally the chorus, we have that same release, but it is a beat drop. Instead, we drop the beat instead of doing a song chorus. Does this work? Absolutely, because the point of both a chorus and a beat drop is to unleash that way. Megumi, welcome today. How you doing? Good to see you. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Really, really good drop so far. We're having this back and forth between the whoop whoop bass that we usually get. I mean, it's not as whoop whoopy in this case, but it's between the bass and some of the melody. Let's see where this goes. Some runs from some of the other synths. And we still sneak in that motif every once in a while. And we also have another synth that is a little bit further in the back, doing some arpeggios. Arpeggio, let me just bring this in. An arpeggio is when you play a chord one note at a time, right? So here's, for example, C minor. Here is arpeggiated. So in this case, we're doing arpeggio runs with some of these. There's a lot going on right now. But primarily, we're going back and forth between the drum, bass, and then the rest of the synths. Basically, drum, bass, then melody, going back and forth. Let's see where this goes. Really catchy rhythm. There we go. We bring back... So we bring back the synth. And this time, we bring it back more as a solo than anything else. So the section here that we would have, it would usually be an instrumental break, but now we're bringing it as a solo. When you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same thing, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There is, however, one universal exception, no matter the style, no matter the genre, which is solos. You bring in a solo, and it doesn't matter what style or what genre you're doing, as long as it sounds cool enough and it fits enough, you can get away with pretty much almost anything. Electronic music does have an additional exception, which is dropping the beat or beat drops. Same rules apply. And in this case, we're going from the beat drop to a solo, but the solo is including the motif so far. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, there you go, doing some variations, some runs there. Ah, shred it! And that's one of my favorite things when it comes... Oh, come on, why didn't you... Okay, so it sounds like we are using the maybe the studio version, and he's playing on top of it, doing a thing there, because I did not hear that sliding of the keyboard. That would have been so cool. Let me read this. I just love Teminite's style of dubstep, rarely just the straight-up bro step popularized by early Skrillex, but complex tracks featuring multiple genres and not just focusing on one. So far, really good. And Rexonics, welcome today. How you doing? So yeah, no, it's wild to see how much he really puts into this, because his drops are not the usual, kind of thing, but he actually goes in and adds a lot more layers than he needs to. Because he can, you could remove maybe half of the stuff that he put on the drop, the beat drop, and he could still get away with it being a great drop of the beat. So yeah, it's really cool to see his attention to all of these details. It's really, really cool to see. Let's see where this goes. Hang on, I wanna see if he put that slide. Hang on, I wanna see if he actually put the slide. We could... Yeah, I guess he ended up muting some of these, because most of these aren't recorded as audio files, but they're more recorded in the samples, like the MIDI samples. Also, I like that he put his logo on. Like, he ended up using a bunch of what are these, like forklift crate things, and he just put the logo in front of it, and it just works. All right, he's bringing the saxophone. Let's see. So we now have some arpeggios. So now we switch it from solo number 1, which contained the style of the electronic music, to solo number 2, which contains the style of the intro a little bit more. So we go more on the jazz side of this. We are keeping the solo, and again, because this is really cool, and because he's doing variations of the motif at the start of the solo, he is getting away with this. And it... Again, solos, what is the key? It sounds really freaking cool. Let's see where it goes. Okay, so yeah, this is... I just love how expressive the saxophone is. And that is primarily due to the mouthpiece that they use. It has a similar mouthpiece as a clarinet. So if you look at a clarinet, it's going to have a very similar mouthpiece to that of a saxophone, which means the clarinet also has that level of flexibility when it comes to expressiveness. It's just that because the saxophone has the brass body, it just unlocks that extra bit. Then we have the piano, of course, playing the chords, but we do have one synth holding what we could call a pedal. A pedal, tone, or note, in this case I think it's just a note, is you're just holding down a single note over time. This is usually something done, more commonly observed in the bass, but right now we're using it high up, kind of like a ceiling. Let's see where this goes. Very nice. Another thing to note, we switched from electronic drums to analog drums. From digital to analog drums, or at least the sounds of them are. So really cool in this case. I just want to see them. Very nice runs. Very nice switch. And the cool thing about saxophone is that because we are so used to the sound of jazz as a collective, even if you end up playing wrong notes, you get away with it with the saxophone. And in this case, we are using some of those to engage in a little bit of chromaticism. Chromaticism is when you borrow from the chromatic scale in the scale that you have. So, in Western music, we use the chromatic scale as a foundation for all the notes that we use. The chromatic scale is going to be all 12 tones of music, which is going to be all the white and black keys, right? You're going to have all these keys. Then, based on intervals, interval is the distance between two notes, the two smallest ones in Western music, which is the half tone or the half step or semitone, and the whole tone, which is two semitones put together. You make formulas based on combinations of these two to get yourself some scales. The scales will usually end up being 7 notes. If we bring, for example, the scale of C natural major, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, then C again, those are going to be your notes. In the case of the keyboard, it would be all the white keys on the keyboard. However, chromaticism is when you end up borrowing, in the case of C natural major, from the 5 remaining notes, and you end up using them to extend or to add a little bit of extra spice. You can use it to start modulation. There are many different ways from which you can start, you can use chromaticism. For example, if we were to do a simple scale over here. Very nice and simple. But if I add a little bit of chromaticism, it adds a little bit of an extra step. It gives it a bit of mischief. You can do many different combinations. You can do many different combinations of this kind of stuff, and we're using that chromaticism very commonly used in saxophones to add extra bits for this. Sax being done live gives it so much more essence than just using a sample. I mean, I believe that, yeah, if this is recorded live, he must have waited a while, because getting a rooftop with no wind, he picked the right spot. He picked the right spot. Because one of the challenges of recording outdoors is that, yeah, the wind is going to be in your way. The wind is going to be in your way, which is why most videos of live performances, this kind of stuff, are very challenging. And most of the time, what you're going to end up seeing is going to be the person having the pre-recorded version playing back. And then they just play, they just record their own version over here. They make sure that they play it exactly the same way. Then you just align the two clips, and it sounds the same, right? So, yeah, let's see where this goes. Nice. We finished that second solo, and we go to verse number 3. Nice. Thing, you know this is in the original? Okay. So we're having the so now we have the keyboard doing a little bit of a variation of what the vocals are doing. This is so cool. Let's see how this goes. Because now we're building up. So pre-chorus again. Pre-chorus number 2. Alright. So as you can hear this time around, we are actually adding a little bit more build up to this, because we are building up to the final chorus / drop, and really well made. Several layers of the vocals are playing at the same time, so all of them are basically playing chords. We're having the piano doing its thing. We have the drums back to the digital drums instead of the analog. Let's see where this goes. Up and same as before, we use the chorus as a beat drop. And to give variation this time around, instead of just playing things 1-to-1, we end up inserting a little bit of a run over here instead. And my god, does it add to it. Because one of the things that you need in music is keep in mind that repetition is your friend, but variation is necessary. I know that there's these two phrases that we use that, especially if you look at video games, that people show or say as an impossible standard to set for game developers, which is doing the same but different. That is one of these things that in game development, yeah, you're not gonna. How do you make sense of this in game development? Like you're looking at, like, this is something that, for example, companies like Ubisoft would complain. How the hell are you supposed to achieve this with something like Assassin's Creed? How do you do the same but different? In music, not only is this true, but this is one of the two core fundamental things that you have to do. The other thing that is completely separate, a completely separate concept that is also necessary, is doing something different but the same. These two things are two core components of music. Right now, what are we doing? We are doing the same chorus as before, but different. We're doing the same but different. What did we do? We added a keyboard run to this. We added a little bit of extra here to this. What is something that we did different but the same? The solos. We had the first solo being a keyboard solo, and it had, stylistically, it had something going on for it. Then we changed the style, we changed the instrument, but the essence of what we were doing stayed the same. We were still doing a solo from Teminite. So these two things, outside of music, would make no sense. But in music, because music is such an inherently irrational field, it actually not only does it make sense, but it is something that is basic when it comes to music. And once you understand that about music, that music has a lot of things that don't make sense logically speaking, but they make sense musically speaking. Once you internalize that, a lot more things start making sense. So yeah, let's see how he carries this one. Adding that motif still, same as before. Very nice run. And bringing the solo again for the post-chorus. So we bring in solo number 3. Oh! Really hammering in that motif. Really hammering in that motif. Oh, very nice runs. And now, so yeah, there's a lot happening, but the most important thing is that now that we're doing this, we're now engaging the outro, which is using the same build-up as the pre-chorus. So we're having the same vocals as the pre-chorus, but we're using this as an outro. We're now starting to close the piece with this. Let me see where this goes. With the keyboard solo. So yeah, this is a good way of doing a climax. We are revisiting as much as we can. In this case, we are bringing that climax building melodies of the vocals that we had during the pre-chorus, and we juxtapose them with another solo, and you just get this feeling of, yeah, it's about to be over, but oh my god, is it going to be worth it? And Elimination, welcome today, how you doing? The Teminite's outros can be almost 1 minute long, simply because he has to deconstruct so much. It's really cool. It's really cool that he actually spends the entire section bothering to land. Because that's something that you don't have to do. You don't always have to stick the landing, or sometimes you don't even have to bother landing at all. So the fact that he's bothering smoothing things down so that he can actually land this is it goes to show the attention to detail that he has. Let's see where this goes. Nice. One more run of the motif. And we now just echo a little bit. One more run of those arpeggios in the chimey synth. And there you have it. That was awesome. I mean, at this point, I've come to expect this from artists like Teminite and Extruller and Creo, that every time we're going to be put through one hell of a journey. There you have it, State of Mind, the live performance by Teminite, featured in Geometry Dash and Beat Saber is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you're going to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, as mentioned earlier in the video, we're celebrating 10,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Thanks again for that. In 2 ways. Number 1, I am going to be giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. Vintage Story! It used to be a Minecraft mod. Now it's its own standalone game. I honestly prefer it over it, to the point that I'm going to be giving away 10 copies of this game. The giveaways are going to be happening on the Discord server on the second half of February. So make sure that you've joined the Discord server, linked in the description, to be able to join the giveaways and get yourself a copy of Vintage Story. and all that cool stuff. Way number 2 that we're celebrating is that starting now, every milestone that we hit, for now it's going to be every 5,000 subscribers up until we reach 100,000, so 10,000, 15,000, whatnot. We're going to start playing some of the games that we check out on stream. The first 2 games that we're going to be playing are going to be Just Shapes and Beats and Limbus Company. We're going to start playing them. For those of you watching the stream, it's going to be next week. If you're watching this on the YouTube video, it's going to be the week that this video comes out, live on stream. During the after show, we're going to start checking out some of these games. And then, you know, once we reach 15,000, going to figure out what we play then. I'm going to burn that bridge when I get there, okay? So, as I said, make sure that you join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first. Whether it's the videos going up, the channels, streams going live, updates, projects, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. Of course, we also have the community where we hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claiming them as our own, and where I host a Vintage Story community server. I love the game so much, I built a computer just to host a server for it. So, yeah, linked in the description. Join the Discord today. Join the Discord community today. Yes, also, share these videos with your friends, with your families, friends, families. Those are 2 very distinct concepts, by the way. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, linked in the description. So help the channel grow with all that. Artists, musicians, or otherwise, Teminite or anybody else on YouTube or elsewhere. This is an open invitation. If you want any of my musical skills, whether it is my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, the little kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, whatever it is, reach out. Let me know. Let's work together. Let's collaborate. Let's make stuff, right? And if you're in the audience and you know somebody that you would like me to collaborate with, reach out. Let them know. Please do not harass anyone. Please do not spam anyone. Be cool about things. Don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays. And if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you'll get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions of what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. Another reason to join the Discord. So if you live in Fort Misery, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. Have a gaming channel? Because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recording VODs when they happen. Recorded live during the main channel's after show. Then the VODs go here. This is where the VODs for Just Shapes and Beats and Limbus Company are going to go. So, linked in the description, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G. And you got it. And Senor Stolzino, thank you for the membership. Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there you have it. State of Mind live performance, Teminite, Geometry Dash, Beat Saber. What an awesome track that was. Dude, that was really fun. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.